There are so many unique weapons in Fallout 4, but you may be wondering which of them are the best. So in this video, I will be going over what I feel are the best unique weapons in the game and how to get them. So first up on this list is the Spray and Pray. Now this may not be surprising to many of you, but the Spray and Pray is one of the best weapons in the game. This is because it can be obtained early in the game, it comes with a suppressor and a 100 round mag, uses pretty common ammo, and the perk on it makes each round explode on contact, dealing 15 extra damage to everything around the explosion. Meaning this weapon can easily melt single targets or wipe out large groups of enemies very quickly. Now the easiest way to get this weapon is to go over to Vault 81 and wait in a chair outside until the vendor Cricket shows up. Then you can purchase the Spray and Pray from her. And while you're in the area, you can also grab the second weapon on this list, which will be the Overseer's Guardian. Again, this won't be much of a surprise to some people, as this is another amazing weapon. But the Overseer's Guardian has a good base damage, and the perk on it makes this weapon fire an additional projectile every time you pull the trigger. This is very good, as the second projectile will do just as much damage as the first, and the bullet doesn't come from your reserve ammo, meaning you will double your ammo count when using this weapon. The only drawback is that the recoil can be pretty tough to handle at first, and the scope on the weapon really doesn't help. So I would recommend removing the scope and using it as more of a mid to close range weapon. Now to get this weapon, you will just need to go into Vault 81, and the vendor inside of Vault 81 will be selling the Overseer's Guardian. Next up on the list we have the Kiloton Radium Rifle. This will come from the Far Harbor DLC. The Kiloton Radium Rifle can do some really good damage, and it has the same perk on it as the Spray and Pray, which makes your bullets explode on contact, dealing damage to nearby enemies, but this weapon will also apply radiation damage. Although this weapon doesn't come with a suppressor and it's locked behind a DLC, it is still an amazing weapon to grab. To get the Kiloton Radium Rifle, you will need to go to the Nucleus in Far Harbor and buy it from the vendor named Brother Kane. While we're in the area, we can also grab the fourth weapon on this list, which will be the Adam's Judgment Legendary Melee Weapon. This weapon will come from the Heretic side quest in the Nucleus. It's a very easy and straightforward side quest, and at the end of it, you will get the Adam's Judgment. Now this could be the hardest hitting melee weapon in the game. It is a slow weapon, but it makes up for that by doing a lot of damage on each swing, and the perk on it applies an additional 100 radiation damage when you hit an enemy with it. Weapon number 5 is the Theeternus, which can be found in the Nuka World DLC. To get this weapon, you will need to complete the Nuka World DLC questline, and at the end of it, a new side quest will appear at the Kolakar Arena. During this side quest, 6 new challengers will appear at the arena that you will have to defeat. The 6th challenger will be the Rogue Knight, and if you defeat him, he will drop the Theeternus. This is a Gatling laser weapon with a high rate of fire, and you can modify this weapon and pick perks to increase its damage. But the special thing about this weapon is the perk on it, which makes it so you will never need to reload this weapon. This wouldn't be too crazy on any other weapon, but the Theeternus uses fusion cores as ammo, meaning the first fusion core that you put into this weapon will never run out, allowing you to fire this weapon forever while never using any ammo. Weapon number 6 will be the Nuka Nuke launcher. This will come from the Cappy in a Haystack side quest in the Nuka World DLC. To start this quest, you will need to look for Sierra, who will be walking around outside the arcade. At the end of this quest, you will need to either side with Sierra or Brad Burton. If you side with Brad Burton, you will be able to loot the Nuka Nuke launcher from his vault. Now this is a modified version of the normal Fat Man, but the Nuka Nuke launcher uses Nuka Nukes as ammo, and these will do a lot more damage than the original mini nukes, and can quickly take out difficult enemies. Weapon number 7 is actually 2 weapons that do the same thing, and those weapons will be the Problem Solver and the Splatter Cannon. To get the problem solver, you will need to pick the aggressive dialogue options and pass 2 speech checks when talking to Mason during the ambitious plan quest in Nuka World. This will be one of the first quests that you do in this DLC, and if you only pick aggressive dialogue, which will be the dialogue options on the right, and pass the 2 speech checks, Mason will give you the problem solver. Now, if you missed this weapon, you can get a better version of it at the Nuka World Market. At the market, you will need to talk to Aaron, and he will sell you the splatter cannon. Now, in my opinion, the splatter cannon is better as it comes with a suppressor and a scope, but both weapons will have the same perk on it. This perk will increase the damage done by the weapon every time you hit the same target, allowing you to quickly take out enemies as long as you keep shooting them. The 8th weapon in this list will be Creme Tooth. This is a very strong melee weapon that can do a lot of damage, and the perk on it makes this weapon apply both a bleed and poison effect, allowing you to keep constant pressure on enemies. To get this weapon, you will need to head over to the Dunwich Borers area and enter the underground tunnels. Then you can look for this hole in the ground, and if you jump into it, you can swim down to find Creme Tooth. Weapon number 9 will be the Big Boy. This is another Fat Man launcher, but the perks on this weapon make it fire 2 mini nukes. This will do a lot of damage, and the second mini nuke is free, as it won't come from your reserve ammo. To get this weapon, you will need to head over to Diamond City and talk to Arturo, and he will sell you the Big Boy. The 10th weapon in this video will be the Old Reliable. This weapon will come from the vendor Degen, who will be at Acadia in the Far Harbor DLC. This is a high damage lever action rifle that comes with a perk that makes this weapon fire an additional projectile. Again, it doubles the weapon's damage and gives you free ammo, so you really can't go wrong with that. Weapon number 11 will be the Harvester. This can be found at the Echo Lake Lumber area in Far Harbor. When you get here, make your way to the top floor of this ruined building, and in this red chest you will find the Harvester. Now, the base damage on this weapon is pretty low, but it makes up for that by having a very fast speed. This will act as a chainsaw and hits enemies very quickly, and the perk on this weapon gives you a chance to stagger your target every time you hit them. And due to that very fast attack speed, you can basically stun lock enemies, making them easier to deal with, and they won't have a chance to fight back. The 12th weapon will be December's Child. To get this weapon, you will need to head over to the Vim Pop factory and make your way to the part of the factory with these large vats. In the back corner of this room, you will find an elevator. Take the elevator down, and here you will find a locked room with a voice coming over the intercom. Now, if you have a high charisma skill, you can talk your way into the locked room, or you could just bring Nick Valentine with you when interacting with the intercom. Then once the door is open, you will find the December's Child on top of this box. December's Child is a great weapon as it will do good damage, and the perk on it makes this weapon lighter and increases its rate of fire and increases its reload speed. From here we can head back to the town of Far Harbor for weapon 13, which will be the Admirals Friend. This weapon will have a very high base damage, but the perk on it doubles the damage it does if the target is at full health, making this a great weapon to use when you're starting a fight with difficult enemies. To get this weapon, you will need to purchase it from Alan Lee in Far Harbor. To get the next weapon, we will need to head over to Pikmin's Gallery in the Commonwealth. Clear out all of the raiders in the building and protect Pikmin. And after you defeat all of those raiders, Pikmin will give you a key to his safe. And inside of that safe you will find Pikmin's Blade. This is an incredibly strong melee weapon as the perk on it applies a bleed effect for 25 extra damage, and it has a stealth blade on it, which means sneak attacks done with this weapon will do a lot more damage. And finally, for the 15th weapon on this list, head over to Libertalia and go to the top of this building that will be built onto the back of this ship. Here you will find the captain's cabin, and on this table you will find the Lafusel Terrible's shotgun. This is a great shotgun that can take out enemies very quickly, and the perk on it increases its damage by 25%, but it will also increase its recoil. But the recoil isn't too bad if you're hip firing at close range. And those are, in my opinion, the 15 best unique weapons in Fallout 4. But I would love to know which of these are your favorite, or if I missed your favorite, tell me about it in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.